Hello, it's Amy from Mommy Scrapping, and I have my second layout from the Secret Not Secret Kit Club for September 2017. I have a picture of my sweet little puppy boy Tucker. We were given a challenge to post a photo from the previous week that we really liked, and then the following week she challenged us to scrapbook that photo. My kit overall has a very, very girly feel, and my husband continually reminds me Tucker is not a girl, and I know that. So I challenged myself to use my kit supplies to show my sweet boy Tucker. I've pulled a variety of things already. Some of them you've already seen. I have this lovely paper from Glitter Girl. It has the unicorns on the back. I'm going to use this as my background. I still have this small 6x6 piece that has the unicorn, so I don't mind losing those. I have there, you can see the yellow and the black and white leftovers from my previous kit, or my previous layout, excuse me. And then I was sent this heart lace paper. Now this to me says girl, but I think I'm going to cut it apart for this and use it kind of as a layer. I have the black and white twine, baker's twine, and I have this thick, I don't know what it's made out of, epoxy, I guess, star. That little clip, yellow and aqua, perfect. I have aqua tabs. I've got the clear enamel star or hearts, and then the loved die cut. This little piece with the black with the white stars gave me an idea. I have a little box of all my little offcuts for making Project Life cards from 6x6 pads, and so I pulled some of those that I thought might work for layering up. I also went through and pulled some sheets out. This one is black with a gray chevron on it. It's very hard to see on camera. And then the small cut apart page, I love the small cut apart pages. I think they're perfect. This one card, Never Stop Loving, was perfect with the yellow and aqua. And then I happen to have this yellow die cut from a card making piece that was left over. These are Freckled Fawn puffy stickers from my stash, and then I just bought these from A Beautiful Mess, but they're the little tile stickers, kind of like October Afternoon's mini market stickers. But I thought those worked really well. I've not used those Freckled Fawn ones, and I've had them for forever. They've got a white stripe on them, so I think that's what stopped me from using them, but I think they'll work particularly well with this page. So I need to set aside everything, and then I am going to start by cutting off the strip. Oh, and those are my black thickers that came with the kit as well. So I'm going to cut off the branding strip, and I think I'm about to put us into fast forward, which is great since I'm currently off the screen. There we go. Now I'm moving faster. Once again, I'm going to ink. I am an inker. I love to ink all my edges. Very rarely do I ever have an uninked page. There's just something about it. I like the finishing and how it ties together everything on the page. So it always makes me happy to ink. Plus, I have a ton and a half of ink. So I'm trying to figure out where I want to place my Tucker picture. And you can see the yellow illustrated faith on the side. This is what I used for my other one. My other layout. Now I end up matting with this black with slight gray chevron. You can't really tell the shape, and I trimmed the photo down just slightly. There wasn't much on the edge, so I didn't mind, cutting off the corner of my cabinet. He's actually asleep on his, or laying on his pillow in my scrapbook room. That's the second desk I have in there, and so his pillow fits in there. He likes being under things. So I'm trying to decide how much of this heart I want to cut off. End up cutting a little over a third of it, I guess. And then I trim it down to what looks to me kind of like a 6x8 type shape. Because I didn't want to go all the way down. That just felt like too much. And so I want it in there to show, how much I love my sweet little Tucker. But I don't want it overwhelming. And so now I'm trying to figure out layers. Like I know I want to get all this in. I was iffy on using that one polka dot that you see there because it is more of a cream-based polka dot, even though nothing on it's cream. It's just the impression that I get from it. And this is a particularly busy paper, but I liked it. I just liked it the other way around. I don't know, I feel like black swoops going down. So I'm starting to plan some of my layers. And I do love that black star paper. I'd love to get that in a 12 by 12. I think it'd be great. End up not using that gray gradient you see on the side. So I'm cutting a 5-inch strip of the yellow, inking all the edges, and this will go from top to bottom. Unlike my previous layout, I'm not going to trim a little bit off the side to give it a frame. I'm trying to pick up the whole stack so I kind of don't lose it. I like to pick up the whole stack and then pull it apart a piece at a time to stick it down. Alright, then I'm adding some adhesive to the hearts. And as much as you see of the hearts right there, you don't really see as much when I'm done. You saw my little drawer of adhesives. There are a couple spots where the hearts were sticking up a little too much, so I took a little photo split and cut it in half and just moved on from there. Ink more paper. This one I'm not cutting up. I'm purposely having it hanging off the side so that the photo is going to be hanging off the right side. There you go, a little lower so you can see that that's a heart. Again, you get the impression of all the hearts even though you don't see them all. So I am going to stack the teal polka dot with the black and white star, and that will get slipped under the right edge of the photo that's hanging off the black and white scallopy one. I'm not trying to stack it evenly. I like the staggered look. And I'm realizing now that yellow piece should have been scooted over further because it's kind of making everything now, I want it far enough over, it's going to end up hanging off the edge of the paper. So that was a big oops on my part, but whatever. At least I got paper down. That's my big downfall, is to overanalyze, and then nothing ever gets done. So I end up cutting this strip into two pieces, a larger one for the bottom, and then a smaller thin strip for the top, so it gives the impression that you've got it going underneath the entire thing. But I didn't want to cover up much of that top heart that's just sticking under the yellow out on top of the yellow paper. I happen to really like that there, and I thought it was important to keep it. You see a little jump there. My husband decided to call me, and since I film using my iPhone, it makes it hard to talk and film. So I'm finally cutting out this little card. On a 12 by 12, it would be a full 4 by 6 card. On this, it's a 2 by 3 card. And I thought it was just perfect. I mean, the colors I loved, and I was going to use it as my title for the page, and then I was like, oh, I can put some journaling on it. I end up doing neither. And in fact, this page, I end up not doing any journaling at all, which I will probably regret down the road when I stop to think about it. But I wasn't feeling well. I was exhausted. It was just not a great day. And I just wanted to be creative without the pressure of writing. I struggle with writing. I know my students would probably be shocked to hear that, but I do. So I added the letter stickers for you, so now it reads, "Never stop loving you," which is how I feel about my sweet boy. Never in a million years would I have pegged myself to be a dog mom. Everybody who knows me, who has found out I have a dog, is just absolutely shocked. That loved I eventually will use, except I use it under the photo instead of on top. I'm trying to decide where to put my title. I've decided it's going to be Tucker Boy, which is what I tend to call my sweet Tucker. I'm like, come here, Tucker Boy. And I had wanted it closer to the photo, but again, with the size of the letters and with the amount of black I used for background paper, it didn't quite work. So I put it on top there, and again, you're covering up the heart, but you get that impression, and use it on the yellow. And then I'm using these yellow stickers from Freckled Fawn on top of the black and white to spell out boy. So I still have my title, Tucker Boy, and I actually think it works quite well like that. And I really like the evenness of that black font. That lines up very nicely. So I'm using some more of those tile stickers to spell out the word so, and then I'm combining it with the die cut loved. So it says so loved. And I have now the title for Tucker Boy, which will get an embellishment cluster. Then I have Never Stop Loving You and So Love. So I've got love in 2 places, and eventually I will add love in a 3rd place up at the top towards the title. I have had these types of clips before, and I rarely use them, but there was just something about how perfect it matched with this. Just, I guess it's an example of serendipity. Now these hearts, I've got a yellow, I've got a blue, but that's it, 1 of each, and I need 3, so I think I end up including another one. I wanted to get out my wood veneers just to add a little more texture, but I'm trying to figure out which one. I've already got some hearts on there, and the larger hearts just didn't feel right, and I had some small brown ones that didn't feel right either. I pulled out then some stars, like in the star paper, and the star bursts I had definitely weren't it. But these like hand-drawn stars, I really, really liked. This is one of my favorite boxes. It says stuff I know I'll never organize, and isn't that the truth? I always have somewhere that I put all these little bits and bobs that I never know where to put. Although I think all of my little October afternoon stuff can probably go on my Clip It Up if I think about it. This is a set of die cuts I got, I don't know when. It had to have been with a kit. I believe it's by Else Studio. But looking at the color, a lot of the colors work really well. I mean, it's got, actually I think overall the colors work great with this entire kit. But it's got the yellows and the teals. So I'm kind of going through and just checking and see, like, is there anything else that I want to use? I love those that gray tag that says take one. They're little perforated edges that say, like, love you and stuff like that. And you can see I pulled out those frames on the side by, I believe it's Pink Fresh. I ended up not using those, but the yellow I had planned on it. I pull them out, and then just color-wise, it just didn't seem to quite jive. Need some more of my glue dots. And now we're going to start adding stuff in. So I cut one of the tabs in half because you're not going to see the other side, so why not? Got to ink it up. And then I keep all the cards for my roller stamps on a ring so I can just flip through and look at them. And I found one from the emoji one that says loved and has a little arrow. I think it has an arrow. I guess we'll see in just a moment when I actually stamp it. It would be helpful if I had this layout in front of me, but it's already downstairs in my album. So yeah, it says love. So that incorporates then the love in the 3 different embellishment clusters. So I have some version of that word, which I wasn't quite planning on when I pulled that stamp out, but I think it worked out really well. So there's the black glittery epoxy star, epoxy for lack of a better word, and I decide I'm going to use it. I really need to get over my hump of saving it for something special. If I love it, then I need to love it and use it now. So I'm inking one of the yellow diamonds. I cannot remember what it says off the top of my head, and my little recording thing is covering it up, so I can't see it. But I'm trying to fit in the little wooden star. And I love those little wooden stars. I am going to run out soon at the rate I use them. And I don't know if they sell them anymore. I'm going to have to look and see. So here I am trying the different enamel frames. And my thought was I could cut them and kind of just tuck them so they're coming out. I didn't really need them to frame anything, but I just couldn't figure out a way to get it to work. And the colors, well, 2 of the 3 colors matched, or 4 colors, however many it was, matched well. It just felt so slightly off, like it was too cool of a color, or too warm, and so I just said, forget it. I'm not going to force it. I've got plenty of other things that I can use on this page. So I stick 2 little mini glue dots on the back of each of those stars, and I try to roll the edges so it's not hanging out from the outside. With this kind of embellishment, it's really hard not to have anything show. So I don't mind if it really shows a little bit on the inside, but I really don't like adhesive sticking out from the outside. So I'm mixing stars and hearts, and I don't really care. He's my sweet boy. I'll do whatever I want. I have to ink my little tag here. Cannot remember what it says. And it's too small on my phone to read it. Sorry about that. That would be better planning on my part for next time, maybe. So I'm going through and trying to find some bling of some sort. So one of my sets of color drawers has gemstones and enamel dots. And so I found this one set from Doodlebug that seemed to match really well. So I'm going to go ahead and add in some enamel dots to each of the embellishment clusters. And looking at it, I feel like it's getting close to done. It still needs a date stamp. I try to put the date on the bottom right of all of my pages, and then I realized I don't have enough room for this date stamp. I don't have the traditional one. All I have is my Heidi Swapp one with 2017 on it. So I'm trying to go, can it fit in amongst the photo? Ended up deciding just to have the word September on the yellow and then 17th, 2017 on the outside the teal paper. But overall, I'm really happy. I love the title, and I just love how it all came together. And I love that this stuff came from my kit and still incorporated what I had. Hope you guys have a wonderful day. Bye.